Hey, welcome to 23 Degrees Sideways. If you can still see me, then I haven't been purged yet. I don't know when on the timeline of videos this is going to go up and how old the information is going to be. You know, I have a friend who does a YouTube channel, Liberty Doll, and, you know, she's got 100,000 times my subscription rate, right? But she keeps having problems where she writes a script. You know, she does her research and she has editing to do and stuff. You know, I'm mostly not doing that because of basically internet reasons, bandwidth reasons. I can't do the uploads and downloads because even when you come into town here in this remote place, the time to upload a 14-minute video averages an hour with the better internet services in town. When you get out to my place, a 2-minute video can take 5 hours to upload if you're lucky, if it actually works. We've tried to do grandma videos and stuff, and it's just, yeah. The local telco monopoly, CC, Churchill County Communications, is really bad, and they just get away with it. Writing the PUC doesn't matter. Anyway, she has a workflow process to get a show out, and it's really good for very high factual, in-depth reporting on topics, you know, and it's all freedom topics. But right now, everything is so fast, you have to be so... If I write to you about the Purge, or if I speak to you about the Purge, and you see this anything more than 2 hours after I record it, all the information has changed. As of now, Parler... Am I allowed to say that word anymore? Crap. The alternative social media site, Parler, is removed from Amazon servers. They own their own servers, but they use Amazon data center. This is normal. I've worked in data centers before. You'd be surprised who actually owns the infrastructure of the internet at this point. The public internet. So, you know, in a very odd little argument about libertarianism and private ownership and corporatism, they've been removed. They're not allowed to access the internet. I want you to really think that one through, okay? This is of course justified because this is where people who foment insurrection and hate speech and awful evil ideas and who don't trust the results that the news told you about the election are doing their evil bad stuff. So this is okay. This is okay to remove the freedom of speech. This part is okay. It's... Oh, man. Do you remember the Japanese internment camp history lessons? Because you need to remember the Japanese internment camp history lessons. Dark day in American history. Well, here you go. Actually, the hatred is worse because the Japanese Americans, generally speaking, were not getting strung up or firebombed or arsoned to the same degree that the anti-white. Is that what this boils down to? Is this actually just you're white, so we hate you? Or is it you're white and... I mean, because it's all white people doing the racist... Oh, none of you. None of you. Anyway, whatever this is, the fomentation of the hatred is extreme, and I think it's more dangerous than the stuff you're looking at. You know, there's two sides to the internment camps in World War II, and one of the sides is that as much as they sucked, it was an answer presented by an authoritarian government to try to prevent mass executions by a citizenry that was already at that point in time susceptible to media hysteria. So let's give the devil his due, okay? as much as I hate FDR, he may have actually saved their lives by taking their stuff. The fact that that is something that we have to consider is what's messed up in the first place. Okay? Right now, the purges are going on, and Parler cannot have internet access. They're not allowed to have a place to host their service. They're not allowed on the Play Store. They're not allowed on the Apple Store. You can't download their app. And this is the kind of concerted cartel conglomerate trust. It's called a trust effort that we have. All of our business regulations are supposed to oppose, to fight. And they're coming down. I don't know when they're going to hit Miwi. I'm on Miwi, MEWE.com. I need to make a second account for the channel, but I'm on there. There's groups on there. It's a pretty decent place to go right now. I don't know what else is available. I don't know what else is going to get taken down. Am I going to have to start giving videos on lessons on how to download and use IRC, because random IRC servers that you're going to hear about on the black market are going to be the only places to go? It's very possible, and we're some of us are ready for this, I could stand up an IRC server in about 5 minutes. I have a multiplayer text game engine, MUD, multi-user domain dungeon, ready to go, still running, right, on a little computer. It's a little mini laptop from the 90s. Like, it's ancient tech, right? But maybe that's where we're going to end up being, just to talk. And this isn't like we're doing super secret squirrel stuff. This is literally just being able to talk about what's really happening, to get an alternate viewpoint from the news, or to have political opinions. Right now, if you have a political opinion that distrusts the electoral system, the way elections are run, you are banned from public speech. The book burners are out in force. I'm done. As far as that goes, I'm done. There's no one's going to take a stand. No one is willing to look that crazy. The guys at the Capitol were, and most of them weren't actually making that statement, but a few of them were, and you'll see it come out in the court cases, because of course no arsonists from the rest of the year will ever be tried, but everyone who set foot in the Capitol will get domestic terrorism charges from the left. Do you trust the court system? At this point in time, based on the last year, do you trust the court system? Can you trust any of your three branches of government? Okay. I had a friend. We lost, I guess, tolerance for each other at some point. A friend named Rob, very smart guy, very, very smart. Knows a lot about certain aspects of government and branches of government, judicial branch especially, and the necessity of having trust in elections, the primary factor in an election being trust. And in an objective view, I would love to be able to go talk to him again and tell him, ask him, get him to actually come down off of the partisan horse, the ideological horse, come back down to a ground view level, all right? Not an upper class, large farm, Midwest level, okay? There's different, but the actual on the ground, 5 acres and a couple heads of cattle, Western, rural, basic level, and tell me, convince me that anyone out here should believe in any of the three branches of government at this point, should have any faith in them, or the electoral process, or the freedom of speech, the freedom of information, freedom to get information. Remember that this is a big deal, okay? They're not just shutting down hate speech, they're shutting down everything, entire communities. It doesn't matter what you do, what you are, you know. Just the fact that you don't want to use Facebook is enough to brand you at this point as unacceptable and get you taken off the internet. No. You know, no. Not everybody is going to be as crazy as Lin Wood or whoever. I don't understand Lin Wood. I have too much logic in my brain. Like, nothing Lin Wood is actually saying is making, like, there's no coherence to it. I can't get into, I love conspiracy theories, and I get into them, and I can find the logical structure, and then I can look at it and how you build them and stuff, and whether or not there's a kernel of truth, you know. And the funny thing is that the more truth there is, the crazier the expression, and the more insane the media response. So it's one of those things like the QAnon people, like, I really don't, there's a lot of it that just doesn't hang together, but there's that kernel of there's a little bit in the middle about, you know, whatever you want to say, perversion or perverted behavior or odd behavior that doesn't match social norms or social responsibility, that is tied into power structures and de facto aristocrats, and that's there. Like, that little kernel is there. And I think that's why the media gets so crazy about the QAnon people, is that they can't address the kernel of truth in the middle, because that kernel of truth in the middle is actually bad, is actually a problem. Now, it's not a problem for me, okay? I don't care. Like, if you want to have a sex slave club and everyone's willing, everyone's participating, you want to brand each other and stuff, I'm okay with that, all right? Whatever you do that's consenting, you know, I don't have some Christian morality where I'm going to say the Bible must rule the U.S. or some whatever. Do what you want, right? As long as you're not, like, seriously screwing with other people. But, you know, the left can't even accept that because there's an inherent power relationship and oppression involved. So you're not allowed to make your own choices. I live in Nevada. I know girls who work in the sex industry, and they get really pissed off at, they're almost all liberals, but they get really pissed off at the left while supporting the left, because the left tells them they're not allowed to make their own choices about having a $200,000 a year career. Okay. Video's kind of going crazy at this point. We're being purged. I can't give you details because the details are going to be completely different tomorrow, in an hour. Right now, sites are being taken down. They're trying to take down Fox. According to rumors that I have not substantiated yet, they're trying to disable the emergency alert system. Man. But you can't fight it. And that's really the core point that I was trying to get at, is if you fight it, you look crazy. If you're willing to go fight, literally stand up, not back down, physical confrontation for your First Amendment rights, now they're going to make that look crazy. And they will put all of the media spin into it to make you look like a crazy person. And quite frankly, all the males in Gen Z are a bunch of fucking cooks. All right? I'm trying to say that without saying that. Cocks, right? I don't even know why that's their phrase of choice, but they're a bunch of frickin' 20-year-old fuds. They honestly think that if the media portrays you badly, that you have hurt your cause, and it's better to shut up and stay behind the keyboard and play Diablo or whatever, WoW or whatever they play right now. No balls. Just no balls. So what you gonna do? It's a really difficult question, because the lone voice in the wilderness just sounds crazy. And to band together right now is to get purged. Not leaving a lot of stuff available for people. You know, if they decide they're going to arrest you, what do you have? You lose everything. The fact that you're going to have a court trial means you lose everything. If you're worth less than about $700,000, you lose everything. To handle bail and court costs, you're going to lose your house. You're going to lose your retirement. Okay, you may or may not even be able to feed your kids at that point. All right, you're done. Like, you're going to lose your car. Everything in your life that amounts to a material security is gone. All right, your name's going to be plastered all over the press. You'll never be able to work in a normal industry, whatever your profession is. Again, guilty or innocent. All right, people know this, and that's why they do suicide by cop, because the fact that you're going to get politically strung up is going to end your life. What are we left with here? Like, where are we going to go? I mean, it's a fun adventure, and we've got a lot of game to play. But look at the game board, and help me try to figure a way out on this one, all right? Stay sideways.